All right, one thing that has been true from the very start of Trump's first term and now 7 months into his second, loyalty is what he values above all else. That allegiance was on full display during Trump's 3+ hour cabinet meeting as his top officials heaped praise on the president in a manner that resembled assemblies in authoritarian states. Just take a listen to some of the extreme flattery that took place.
If you all haven't stopped by the Department of Labor, Mr. President, I invite you to see your big, beautiful face on a banner in front of the Department of Labor, because you are really the transformational president.
There's only one thing I wish for, that noble committee finally gets its act together and realizes that you are the single finest candidate.
Thank you for saving college football, by the way. We're all very grateful.
Guys, that was not North Korean TV. That was right here in the United States of America.
Beautiful, beautiful.
It was a beautiful tribute. You got a little emotional there.
Yeah,
because I know you're a big college football fan, so it meant a lot to you.
And
that
he saved it.
And he saved
I don't know how, but he saved it.
He saved college football. Like, all jokes aside, but what do you make of that? I mean, it's deeply disturbing. I understand political culture, right? And there's a man with a lot of power, and you kind of do have to always massage egos a little bit in politics, but I've never seen this kind of display in a cabinet meeting in American democracy. I've spent a lot of time overseas. I've been in a lot of I've lived in a lot of authoritarian countries, and it really harkens to Middle Eastern military dictatorships where the leader sits at the table and everybody just heaps praise for hours on end.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's very odd because Donald Trump, he is a senior citizen. He is an old man. And legally. He needs... he's 79 years old. He's the oldest person ever to be sworn in president. He's an old man, and he needs people to validate him all the time and heap this praise on him. It's strange to watch. I mean, he has got like bruises on his hand, like old man bruises, but he also like needs to have his ego fed like he's a middle school student or something like that. So it's very weird to see him in these cabinet meetings where everyone is just like laughing at all of his like bad, like open mic jokes and just like nodding along while he says some of the craziest stuff you've ever heard in your entire life. And like Donald Trump is a guy who walks around in a hat that says in capital letters, Trump was right about everything, exclamation point. It's the president of the United States wearing a hat that says, I was right about everything.
So
like
embarrassing.
If you saw somebody like at the laundromat with that hat, you'd be like, okay, that guy's got some problems or that's supposed to be a joke. But this is real. Like he actually needs people to validate him all the time.
What I was just going to say really quickly is, when I compare it to overseas, I understand the fear that people have because if they don't do that, they end up dead. That doesn't happen in this country. It's not supposed to happen in this country. So what I don't understand is why the sense of fear to validate this guy all of the time, right? Like dictators overseas kill people who don't praise them. Here, these people are sitting here voluntarily. They accepted a job to serve their country, and yet they're compelled to praise this man. Out of what fear? Out of what?
I think MAGA men operate on fear all the time. And we can review the list of things that scare them. We have drag queens. We have brown people. We have black people. My group has now entered their fear hit list, which is the white liberal woman. Yes. We have blue cities, and it goes on, and they talk constantly about how terrified they are. They try to scare everybody. Where I live in Oklahoma City, I can tell within 2.5 seconds if I'm talking to somebody that watches a lot of Fox, what are you doing this weekend? I'm going to New York. Oh my God, be careful. You can immediately know what they're getting messaged. And I think all of these men, when you look at Marco Rubio, when you look at all of the others, JD Vance, when you look at the moral collapse, and I keep saying that over and over, but all of these people just a few news cycles ago had clarity on this. Yeah. And now they've done a 180-degree turn. And they are constantly sane washing. And I think these people, how they get flyover states in is they use a lot of religious washing. You heard, I think it's Tim Scott. I heard a quote from him yesterday, and he said, I just want to thank the good Lord that we have President Trump in charge because he cares so much about Americans, which everybody knows is a lie. But he uses religion to wash over this, to make people in flyover states say, oh, the Lord likes Trump.
Well, how could we forget that image of the president with all the religious figures, pastors,
Yes,
all kind of
putting
putting their
hands.
hand on him and praying for him? Sorry.
I mean, that would have previously been called blasphemy.
Yeah.
And I had an argument once with some family members about the autographing of the Bible
Yeah.
theory, and I think it was flood relief or it was some natural disaster in the South. But just because the idea that anyone in a Southern Baptist church that I had grown up with would be okay with someone autographing the Bible like they're Jesus Christ. But that's kind of the era that we're in. We're in this cult of personality where actually you could probably make the argument that politics has replaced church going in that community to some extent. But Jennifer, I want to go back to something you were saying about MAGA men now fearing white liberal women.
Yes.
And so can you expand on that and tell us, what you've encountered in Oklahoma City?
Well,
Which I believe is a blue. It's a
purple.
blue,
It's a
yeah.
purple city. I've just heard a lot online. We talk a lot of smack on our podcast, and then sometimes Fox News will browbeat us for a full day.
Wow.
And then I get a lot of feedback from those people. And the
Very nice,
feedback-
I'm sure.
the
Constructive
feedback-
criticism, I'm sure.
The feedback is that white liberal women are going to ruin the country. And every time I hear these MAGA men, it's never any policy. It's never giving a damn about anybody else around them. It is the list of people that trigger them. And it's amazing to me how triggered they are by drag queens, by gay people. And then when I entered the case and they're mad at me
Oh, hell
or
no.
that I'm a threat, I see all of those men around that cabinet room as so emasculated. I don't see strength. I don't see alpha males. I don't even think I see beta males. I would go below that. Is it zeta? I don't know what it is. Bacteria, parasites. I don't know what it is, but it is such a scam on the American public that we're so tough and we're such big guys, and all they do is beat other people down. And I think their whole ethos truly is owning the libs.